In this video, I'm going to show you my personal top games on the MetaQuest 3, 2, and Pro that are currently available. So for these games, you don't need a PC, they run directly on your MetaQuest. But I will also tell you what my top 5 favorite games on the MetaQuest are, and I am curious if you can guess them in the comments. Do you guys have any questions? I'm sure that the VR community and I can help you. Just write your questions in the comments and let's get started now. Two notes before we start with the games. First, you can find links to all the games in the video description. By using these links, you won't pay more, but you'll help me in my work at the Gaming Den. Note number 2, if you are new to virtual reality, just take it easy, okay? No need to rush. VR gaming is not comparable to regular gaming and can really mess with your senses. If you're having trouble with that, I made a whole video on how you can improve what's called motion sickness for yourself. Here you'll find crucial tips on rapidly improving in virtual reality, and I believe that's vital currently due to the abundance of newcomers. You can find a link to this video in the description below. And because there are a lot of newcomers, I will label games that I consider to be particularly beginner-friendly accordingly. So you'll know right away which games you can start with and which games you might want to approach with a little more caution. As always, I've added timestamps to this video, and now we're starting with the games. There are numerous great music rhythm games on the MetaQuest, but in my view, Beat Saber remains unparalleled. You gotta smash blocks with lightsabers in time with the music. Nowadays, Beat Saber offers not only the original soundtracks, but also many DLCs like Green Day, Linkin Park, Queen, Timbaland, and many more. So there's something for everyone. You can play Beat Saber both alone and in multiplayer, and it even supports extensive crossplay with other platforms now. A genre that functions exceptionally well in virtual reality is first-person shooters. And I am quite certain that Population 1 is the shooter that I have spent the most time on by a large margin. It is a battle royale shooter with teams of 3 on a huge map. It is most comparable to Fortnite, but the building aspect has been scaled back and instead, climbing and gliding have been introduced. I've played the game frequently with our Discord community and it's a blast when playing as a team. Population 1 is available for free, but provides the option to buy a season pass or gold in order to, for instance, obtain skins. In Arizona Sunshine, you are immersed in the Arizona desert during a terrifying zombie apocalypse. The story is gripping, and the German dubbed version has now achieved cult status. Arizona Sunshine is especially cool because you can play the campaign not only by yourself but also in co-op mode. Meanwhile, the second part has been released, continuing the story from part 1 and can be played together. In addition, both parts also have a horde mode where you have to fend off hordes of zombies with multiple players. At Shadow Point, you're searching for Lorna, who vanished years ago in a mysterious manner at the Shadow Point Observatory. The search takes you into a fantasy world where you must solve shadow puzzles. The story is very exciting, and the German version is invaluable. You all should definitely take a look at the game. The one or another person surely knows, Shadow Point is still my favorite game in virtual reality. I Anticipate You to Perish is an extremely demanding escape room game. You slip into the role of an elite secret agent and have the task of doctor to lay down the craft. That puts you in situations where you really need to use your brain power, but they can also get super stressful and require good reflexes. And as the name of the game suggests, basically no one anticipates you to survive, actually. By now, there are 3 parts of I Expect You to Die, which in my opinion are all equally so. I'm not a big fan of puzzles in real life, but this game really hits the spot. In Puzzling Places, you'll be putting together 3D models in virtual reality, or if you prefer, in mixed reality. The game is always changing, so there are constantly new puzzles and now also the chance to solve puzzles with friends in multiplayer mode. Perfect for chilling out. I believe I don't have to tell you much about Resident Evil 4, except that it's a really, really good port for this game, for virtual reality. You're back in the role of Leon Kennedy, who's supposed to rescue the daughter of the US president. In the process, the entire gameplay was flipped inside out to ensure it's perfectly tailored to virtual reality. Absolutely great. We definitely need more ports like this for VR. When it comes to creepiness and panic, nothing compares to Dreadhalls. You guys are in the catacombs, have to find eyeballs. But in your search, you won't be alone. You'll encounter opponents that you have to hold back. Opponents that you have to turn off the lights on. Opponents that you can't lose sight of. And of course, opponents that you should just run away from. This game is a real hit with me and my friends. We've often taken turns level by level and projected the image onto a TV so that everyone can watch. If you want to know how to stream your quest build, I'll link my video about it in the credits and video description. And naturally, my list would not be complete without including the highly anticipated Game of the Year 2023, Assassin's Creed Nexus. We had high expectations that could only be let down. However, this game absolutely delivered and exceeded our hopes, man. You slip into different roles and do what you do in other Assassin's Creed games, only this time in first-person perspective. You have the ability to jump between rooftops and conceal yourself in crowds on busy streets. Undoubtedly one of the top games of the year, and arguably one of the finest games for virtual reality to date. It's been way too long. Now let's talk about an absolutely awesome tool that I use all the time. Virtual Desktop. With Virtual Desktop, you can wirelessly control your PC with the MetaQuest, play VR games from your PC wirelessly on the Quest, or play PC games, watch movies, or work on virtual monitors. Absolutely amazing and worth the price. A tool that I have already introduced to you multiple times in the past is the Quest Games Optimizer. The issue is that the Quest Games Optimizer is not in the official store. You can find a tutorial on how to install the Quest Games Optimizer in the video description or in the end credits. With the Quest Games Optimizer, you can increase the graphics on any game to make it look super sharp. Plus, you can organize your games as folders or even use your Quest 3 as a 3D camera. You definitely shouldn't miss out on this tool and check out the corresponding video for it. Zenith is likely considered the best virtual reality MMO currently available in the market. There's a huge world to explore, either alone or with friends. Together you can level up, explore dungeons, and take down mini-bosses. An absolute must for fans of the genre, and always exciting to explore this massive game world. Don't let the graphics of RecRoom scare you off. The game is really awesome for hanging out with friends, chatting, or playing one of the many games like paintball, a battle royale shooter, and so much more. The best thing about RecRoom is its extensive crossplay across all platforms. And it goes as far as allowing you to log in with your phone. Here is definitely my favorite media app. With BigScreen, you can do a ton of stuff. You can watch movies together with friends, play games together, give presentations, and so much more. I especially like the integration of Disney Plus and Prime Video, including the Group Watch feature, because it allows you to watch TV shows and movies together in a virtual cinema with friends who also have a MetaQuest, no matter where you are. Netflix doesn't support that, but you guys have a separate app where you can watch the series and movies in a cozy winter lodge, but unfortunately only by yourself. After this, we'll have plenty of bad fuel to hop around from one end of the settled systems to the next. This app, in my opinion, has the potential to launch the MetaQuest to a new level and tap into a new market. The app itself is free, but to use them, you'll need an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for €15 per month. Then you can, for example, game with an Xbox controller all the games that are included in this Game Pass. And there are really a whole bunch of them by now. However, it is important to remember that when playing these games, you are limited to a 2D screen, making VR games impossible. Currently, the resolution is unfortunately limited to 1080p, which is not so great, but the future potential is simply huge. Alright team, what's the plan? Gotta get the key, then head to the exit. My fave board game on the Quest is Demeo. Demeo is a turn-based tabletop board game that you can play online with up to 4 players or even in local multiplayer in mixed reality. The game presently provides 5 adventures in this video and possesses an extremely high replay value. Action Attack of the Squirrels is a special game for the entire family. The storyline is brief. There is a tree. There are acorns lying in front of this tree that need to be taken and hidden by squirrels. The special thing is that the tree is played by the VR player. The squirrels can be played through a free mobile app that can join the VR player's space. That is extremely enjoyable and ideal for an evening of gaming with the family. Link to something else. Moss is an action-adventure puzzle game where you play as the little mouse heroes in Quill. The sets are really well done, and I'm always amazed at how detailed and lovingly the world is designed. An absolute highlight if you're seeking a thrilling solo adventure. And if you still can't get enough, then I have good news. There is now Moss Book 2, which continues the story from Part 1. Your nickname is going to be Epsilon. Red Matter is a super exciting sci-fi adventure where you take on the role of Agent Epsilon. You guys are exploring a mysterious underground base on the moon of Saturn, Rhea. There were secret experiments conducted there, and you guys have to figure out what it was all about. Besides an absolutely awesome atmosphere and a soundtrack that gives you goosebumps, this game offers challenging puzzles, an exciting story, and one of the best graphics on standalone headsets. Meanwhile, there's also a second part for Red Matter, and Red Matter is one of the top titles on the Quest. My reports ain't showing nothing. Kids can be a real pain in the neck. As a Star Wars fan, a title must not be missing for me, of course. Vader Immortal. Vader Immortal takes place between episodes 3 and 4, and tells an exciting story about Darth Vader that you can experience. The story occurs solely on Mustafar in Darth Vader's castle. You discover there how to fight with the lightsaber and how to handle the Force. It's really exciting and consists of 3 episodes, each about 30 to 60 minutes long. Episode 2 loses some steam in the story, but episodes 1 and 3 are really great. In addition to the story, each episode has its own lightsaber dojo with high replay value. And our future is in your possession. Asgard's Wrath 2 is probably the most extensive game on the MetaQuest, with 60 hours of main story and 134 hours with all side quests. The VR action RPG continues the story of Asgard's Wrath 1, which unfortunately is only available for PC VR. But it's not necessarily required that you've played Part 1 in order to be able to play Part 2. The game features a massive open world and a sophisticated combat system. Currently, I am still playing this game, and I must say, it is difficult to resist the urge to keep playing. You can find a detailed review here in the Gaming Den. I'm a big fan of city building simulation games. I was totally addicted to SimCity and Cities Skylines. And who else feels the same way there? Cities VR is absolutely insane and brings the city building simulation to your VR headset. The game mechanics work just like you would expect, and the game has been well adapted for virtual reality. And now let's be honest, who hasn't wished for it back in the day while playing SimCity, just to take a stroll through their own city? Superhot VR is a really special game that's super challenging. Your opponents are red polygon guys who are trying to kill you. Every hit they land leads directly to your death. The best part, your opponents only move when you move. You have the chance to assess the situation first before you go all Matrix style on your opponents, taking them out and moving on to the next level. In the climb, you have to climb, as the name suggests. There are incredible levels with stunning views. You have the option to climb solo or in multiplayer by competing against the ghosts of your friends. This game is very impressive. Climbing enthusiasts should try it here, but also anyone who wants to challenge their fear of heights. And for individuals who have not had sufficient experience following the initial section, there is also the Climb 2 with several new climbing mechanics and new, extremely intense climbing routes, such as a canyon in the middle of skyscrapers, for instance. Many know The Walking Dead from the TV series. In Saints and Sinners, you fight for survival during the zombie apocalypse. You all have to explore new territories, gather resources to make weapons, ammunition, or grub. And your decisions are crucial for the story. A super comprehensive and thrilling game that every survival enthusiast should definitely check out. For those who can't get enough after this game, there's a sequel called Saints and Sinners Retribution. Here's another one of the top apps where I've really spent hours. With Wanda, you can check out Google Street View 360-degree images. Whether official, pictures from others, or your own 360 degrees pictures, it doesn't matter. You can do that both alone, but also in multiplayer with friends. So you can explore the world with friends, and it's a lot of fun. There should definitely be more applications like this, of this type and quality. Richie's Plank Experience is an application that I demonstrate to all individuals who are just getting started with virtual reality technology. In summary, in Richie's Plank Experience, your fear of heights will be tested as you ride an elevator to 80th floor. You have to go up a floor and then step onto a plank. And the reactions of the people I've shown it to so far are sometimes really intense. There are other game modes that I personally don't think are that great, but the plank alone is worth it in my opinion. Richie's Plank Experience now supports mixed reality. If you fear heights, you must definitely try Richie's Plank Experience. Just so you know, I always got a D in art. Vermilion is an app that's all about art. You all have a virtual easel and are able to virtually mix colors and paint on a virtual canvas. Though I can't do it myself, see my art grade, I've seen many impressive artworks. And the app's interface and the act of painting itself are really good, that even if I don't have an affinity for it, I simply have to say that I think it's awesome every time. And thanks to Quest 3, the mixed reality mode is now a lot of fun. You can just plop that easel right in the middle of your living room and get creative right there. Racket and X is a 360-degree squash game where you have to hit different panels on the 360-degree dome surrounding you, just like the classic Breakout game. This game requires a lot, depending on the difficulty, and it's fun, especially in multiplayer co-op or versus mode. Eleven Table Tennis is definitely the best ping pong game for your MetaQuest. The ball physics are really well implemented, and the good scalability of the AI difficulty offers a suitable entry point for both beginners and advanced players. There are regular tournaments and you can play against friends online. Even 11 Table Tennis now offers a mixed reality mode where you can play on a virtual ping pong table in your living room. In virtual reality, you can do so much more than just play games. For example, you can replace expensive gym classes. My go-to app for this, which I should utilize more frequently, is Les Mills Body Combat. Trainers, displayed high score of friends, motivate you to top performances. You guys punch, bend over until you're out of breath. But there's something for all with various training intensities and durations. If you're in the mood for dancing, you can also explore Les Mills XR Dance. One game that I completely underestimated is Real VR Fishing. In this game, you have the option to go fishing by yourself or with your friends and accumulate experience points or enhance your virtual aquarium with every catch you make. The surroundings while fishing look really awesome and the atmosphere is really great and absolutely perfect for relaxing. Honestly, I am not even sure if I spent the majority of my time in virtual reality in this game or in the subsequent game I am about to demonstrate to you. Did you expect a mini golf game to become the most popular game in the virtual reality community in Germany twice in a row? That's right, I feel the same way. To be completely honest, Walkabout Mini Golf didn't make a strong impression on me when I first saw it. But just like with Real VR Fishing, I was completely off the mark. Walkabout Mini Golf is made with a whole lot of heart. There are some awesome tracks and new tracks are regularly released, which you can then buy as DLC for $3.99 each. You can solve puzzles, search for balls, and our Discord community gathers multiple times per week to play mini golf as a group. This game definitely belongs to my top 5 favorite games in the current moment. A game that possesses an extraordinary amount of potential is Space Pirate Trainer DX. I liked the game when Quest 1 launched. In the past, it was a cyberpunk shooting gallery where you had to shoot down drones. It was a fun experience. The game mode is still available nowadays, and it's just as enjoyable as it was in the past. However, what truly sets the game apart is the arena mode. You guys are setting up a Guardian of 10x10 meters with your MetaQuest. A buddy sets up the same Guardian with another MetaQuest. Then the two games synchronize and a labyrinth is displayed between you, through which you now have to run in real life and chase each other, of course with a weapon, and you have to shoot each other. Now, I do not have a separate game for you, but essentially all games from a developer. Forever Games offers awesome multiplayer games that, in my opinion, are all pretty good. There are, for instance, Forever Darts, Forever Pool, Forever Bowl, and even Forever Cornhole games. If you guys are up for some fun pub games, this is definitely something for you. Bowling and pool games now also support mixed reality, so you can place a virtual pool table or bowling alley in your living room. And somewhere in these featured games are now my top 5. I had to really think for a long time, especially when it came to choosing these games, because there are naturally a whole lot of games out there, and my first list had, I think, like 80 titles or something. Now I have to limit myself to my top 5 games. And I feel like 5th place is being all alone in a ghost town. Number 4 is Wonder. Coming in at number 3 is Walkabout Mini Golf. In the second place, we have Red Matter, while my number 1 spot continues to be held by Shadowpoint. And what are your favorite games? What other titles would appear on this list for you guys? Write it in the comments, and if you liked or found this video helpful, I'd appreciate your thumbs up.